You don't think disappearances or abductions are a thing in Uganda?
There are no abductions that are done by the state. The state arrests doesn't abduct.
I mean, is there any modicum, a scintilla, an iota of shame in the brain of this gentleman?
You and your producer have contradicted each other. We were very clear, I'm not going to discuss those two individuals because they were arrested by police.
He's trying to run away from a very important question.
Please give names.
Do you know about the case of Bobby Young?
Once somebody has already been established where he is, why does it become a subject of discussion again?
Yeah, because you have to discuss the modus operandi. How was he arrested? It's a very important question. I don't like this gaslighting of Felix Kulayigye. Does he think that people are stupid or what?
So what goes wrong? What happens when they're arrested beyond 48
We don't
hours?
live in an ideal world, do we?
No, we don't.
Oh, no. Canary shouldn't be saying, no, we don't. Listen to this man. We don't live in an ideal world. Kulayigye, what's wrong with this guy? He's the army spokesperson. Being provided within 48 hours is not just ideal. It is constitutional. It is the law. Like if I read here where it says, a person arrested, restricted, or detained shall be kept in a place authorized by law. And we are told that Ed Mutwe is being kept under a basement of someone's house. You don't be like, oh, in an ideal world, we are supposed to be keeping you in a place authorized by law. But we don't live in an ideal world. It is the law. By dismissing this as merely ideal, you know what you're doing? You're effectively saying, yes, we are violating the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, but it's fine because the world isn't perfect.
You're watching Mordecai Marissa Live Political Commentary. Please consider subscribing to help grow Uganda's Voices of Struggle ecosystem. Thank you.
I cannot appreciate you enough for using your valuable time to always go on social media, break down things for people.
And yes, indeed, coming to you live from these United States of America. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you're watching me from. My name is Mordecai Marissa, and you're watching Mordecai Marissa Live. Ladies and gentlemen, we just did it. Yes, we did. We just hit 19,000 subscribers on YouTube. 19 subscribers. That's under 5 months. Now, I don't take that for granted. Thank you so much from wherever you're watching me from. Every piece of you, every piece of support you have given me, I do really appreciate. So go on and if you've not already, hit the subscription button, and I would really appreciate. And make sure that you engage in the conversation down in the comments section. Share this conversation with our folks out there, especially folks who belong to the NRM regime, sympathizers or apologists of the regime. And make sure that you do like this video. Like I usually tell you, it triggers YouTube algorithms. I don't know how that magic works, but it does. So make sure that you do like this conversation on your YouTube. And if you follow me on TikTok, on Facebook, or on X, formerly Twitter, welcome aboard. Ladies and gentlemen, there's that funny, it's not funny, but very common idiom. It says, it goes like saying the silent part out loud. This is what Felix Kulayigye did. The army spokesperson was hosted on 106.1 Next Radio by former colleague of mine, Canary Mugume. And the conversation was about the continued abduction, torturing, and disappearances of NUP affiliated or NUP supporters and leaders. And what really ensued was a profile in gaslighting, a profile in false and fake confidence. The ego and the intimidating rhetoric, you know, this Felix Kulayigye guy threatening Canary Mugume. I do really appreciate Canary Mugume for insisting, he kept on asking the same question. He was trying to evade having a conversation about a very important topic. Actually, that wasn't the major topic. It wasn't about discussing the disappearances. He was trying to say, that's not what I'm here for. Ask me other questions. Until Canary Mugume was able to maneuver through his evasion until he was able to answer some questions. And unbelievable. Listen to this.
And the world, wherever you are, as of yesterday, 5
Oh, I have my window open.
high-profile national unity platform supporters that include Bobby Giant, Eddie King Kavenja, known as Serunkuma Edwin, Lukenge Sharif, and many others have been remanded to Luzera. But before they appeared in court, they had been missing for days. Yesterday, we also got to learn that the deputy spokesperson of the National Unity Platform, Alex Waiswa Mufumbiro, went missing and later confirmed that he had been arrested at Wandega police station. His case was adjourned to 29th of September, pending the DPP's response. But looking into what is happening today, the political season, the disappearances, what exactly is happening? What is the actual state of security in Uganda as we speak today? Joining me tonight is, of course, a man that is not a stranger to this show, General Brigade, Acting Major General.
No, I was confirmed long ago. Don't worry.
Major General Felix Kulayigye. Good to have you on the show, sir.
Thank you, but I think you have, you and your producer have contradicted each other. We were very clear I'm not going to discuss those two individuals because they were arrested by police.
He's trying to run away from a very important question.
I have no business discussing them.
Which two individuals?
The Waiswa and Bobby Young. Is it Bobby Giant, I mean?
Bobby Giant.
Yes.
What about the others that had gone missing? The others have gone missing.
Who?
And he knows. I don't like that that fake pride and ego. Who? I mean, you know what they're talking about. One, when he says, I don't want to discuss them because they're arrested by police. Just a day ago, he was being interviewed and asked on the same. Why is he trying to evade answering the question about the same?
Please give names.
Do you know about the case of Bobby Young?
He hasn't even appeared in court?
Yes, but that is after, before he had been
Excuse
missing.
me. You see, once somebody has already been established where he is, why does it become a subject of discussion again?
Yeah, because you have to discuss the modus operandi. How was he arrested? It's a very important question. I don't like this gaslighting of Felix Kulayigye. Does he think that people are stupid or what?
Doesn't it worry you that people go missing and then
They are
even
not
after
they are not missing.
even after they appear in court,
They are not missing, no.
that their relatives, their lawyers, their
I don't understand where these people get some sort of confidence to say they're not missing. Like, I don't know how many times we've been beating the drum of John Bosco Chibalama and so many others. NUP has over 20 supporters that whose whereabouts are not known. But when he confidently said they're not missing, yet you cannot provide them to us. I mean, like, what kind of a world is this gentleman living?
doctors are unable to establish in the first 2, 3, 4, 5 days before they appear in court.
Canary, could I remind you, once somebody has been arraigned in a civil court, it's done by the police of Uganda or Uganda Police Force, not the UPDF. And so you can't make me Director of Information in Defense to discuss people that have been arraigned in court by the police force.
You don't think disappearances or abductions are a thing in Uganda?
There are no abductions that are done by the state. The state arrests doesn't abduct.
I mean, is there any modicum, a scintilla, an iota of shame in the brain of this gentleman? There are no abductions in Uganda? Like, everything has been documented. I don't want to even play footage here. I mean, you have seen over and over again. I don't want it to be some sort of a cliche. But where do you get the confidence, Felix Kulayigye, to say this hogwash?
So maybe you want us to discuss the manner of arrest.
Really?
Because what
I
non-uniformed...
insist, Mr. Mugisha.
Mugume.
Mugume. I would discuss election security. That's what I.
And see, now he runs away after knowing that Canary Mugume is not going to leave this topic. Now he says, okay, I insist we discuss a different topic. Why are you running away?
Came to discuss. I have no business discussing individuals that are already in a court arraigned by.
How shameful. After discussing in videos, he doesn't want to discuss in videos. Make it make sense.
By the police.
Doesn't
Matters of arrest, methodology of arrest, please discuss with the police spokesman.
Are you
No, I'm
kidding me? After denying that there are no abductions in Uganda, because when you talk about abductions, then you've already discussed, after denying, oh, there are no abductions. Okay, go discuss, the modus operandi under which so-and-so has been arrested with so-and-so. So why did you even have to mention a thing about it in the first place?
saying that it should bother you that men appear without uniform with private number plate vehicles.
No,
and
it can't bother me because there are these several methods of arrest that I know of. And two, Uganda is not the only country that has done that.
Listen to the argument here. Let him go down and break down the methods of arrests and tell us under what situations do you apply what method? Because I don't think that when he was going through his learning process of being a military man, whatever, he was told that for every mosquito or for every fly, what you've got to use is a hammer. He doesn't want to explain this because it is utter breaking of the law. And he cannot hide away from this. And then look at his argument number 2. Because I know there are other countries where this is being done. Oh, let me tell you, my friend, Saddam Hussein did this. So if Iraq was able to do this, why not Uganda? I'll tell you another country. Fidel Castro in Cuba used to do this. How about we do it? Let me tell you about what Xi Jinping in China does, or Vladimir Putin, or I'll tell you about Yahya Jammeh in the Gambia before he was toppled. Like, what kind of kindergarten reasoning is this? But I'll tell you, I don't even care about whether I break a law as long as it's being broken in other countries. Felix Kulayigye, what's wrong with you? Gentlemen, oh my God.
Even though democracies, people can arrest when they are in ordinary clothes.
It doesn't really matter whether it is being done in the USA, in the UK, in France, in China. We are discussing Uganda. I've always heard Museveni, talking about, African traditions and cultures. We have to do this. It is so funny that these folks, every time you're trying to tell them to do the right thing, they'll be like, no. Oh, you'll be like, I would like you to to use like countries like America or so and so, whatever. Choose a country of your own, and be like, I think we need to benchmark on this country. The first thing they'll say, this is Uganda. We have to do things in our own way. Those are concepts from Europe. We cannot do them. And the moment they do wrong things, their go-to place are those countries they usually don't want you to bring in conversations to use as benchmarks. Hello?
So that shouldn't be worrying us. It would have worried me if people indeed disappeared. There, it's a matter of concern.
Okay, tell us about John Bosco Chibalama. Tell us about John Bosco Chibalama. Because if it is a matter of your concern, then it is the moment to tell us about the whereabouts of John Bosco Chibalama.
But once the address has been established, or the
address of Chibalama hasn't been addressed up to date. Do not gaslight me.
And they are in hands of government agencies, we rest.
Despite the fact that their whereabouts are known even beyond just 48 hours. I mean, custody of 48 hours, that should be okay because it's within the law.
Ideally, should be 48 hours.
So what goes wrong? What happens when they're arrested beyond 48 hours?
We don't live in an ideal world, do we?
No, we don't.
Oh, no. Canary shouldn't be saying, no, we don't. Listen to this man. We don't live in an ideal world. Kulayigye, what's wrong with this guy? He's the army spokesperson. Being provided within 48 hours is not just ideal. It is constitutional. It is the law. Like if I read here where it says, a person arrested, restricted, or detained shall be kept in a place authorized by law. And we are told that Ed Mutwe is being kept under a basement of someone's house. You don't be like, oh, in an ideal world, we are supposed to be keeping you in a place authorized by law. But we don't live in an ideal world. It is the law. By dismissing this as merely ideal, you know what you're doing? You're effectively saying, yes, we are violating the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, but it's fine because the world isn't perfect. And what does that give birth to? Now, justifying the abuses by redefining all these kind of atrocities as normal. After all, we don't live in a perfect world. Kulayigye, I had to be the bearer of the bad news, and I am not one of those folks who have this sort of joy when people are going through misfortunes. I am not those kind of people. But I'm telling you, you are digging your own grave. Don't say this stuff. They'll be used against you. I am sorry. I feel very sorry for you that you don't realize what you're doing. How do you say, oh, we can break the law. We can break the Constitution is not actually a big deal. Torturing? Well, in an ideal world, no one is allowed to be tortured. But do we live in an ideal world? No. The world is not perfect. You know, in a perfect world, that can be done. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that Felix Kulayigye's statement, don't take it lightly. This is, like I said, saying the silent part out loud. This is the beginning of the normalization and institutionalizing of impunity. If an army spokesperson says, you know what? Well, in an ideal world, we're not allowed to arrest you. But we don't live, ideally, we're not arrest you, to arrest you, but come on. We don't live in a perfect world. But most importantly, it violates very, very, very many laws, not only within this book, but international human rights standards. Maybe we should be reminding these people that Uganda is part and parcel of treaties like the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Oh, what's going on? Oh, in an ideal world, that can be done, but we don't live in a perfect world. Okay, God. And Canary Mugume says, oh no, we don't live in a perfect world. What? Listen to this.
Because it's within the law.
Ideally, should be 48 hours.
So what goes wrong? What happens when they're arrested beyond 48 hours?
We don't live in an ideal world, do we?
No, we don't.
Exactly.
So what is UPDF's official response on the allegations of abductions?
But why should I respond to what we did not do? Why should I respond to hot air?
Yeah.
We all know who appeared or who brought Bobby Giant. We know who arrested Waiswa. So why should I discuss this matter? Why should I respond to what I am not responsible for?
Sometimes when people go missing, it's police that says we're not aware, and then you go to the UPDF says it's not aware, and all of a sudden we hear now that they are in unidentified custody.
Canary, have I never gone on record to say that one is with us? Have I never?
You've ever?
Exactly.
Now, listen to these utter contradictions. At first he said he cannot, he's not supposed to be addressing this. Now he says, have I ever gone on record and not saying blah, blah, blah?
You see, the Swahili say, mwenye mkunda na kuambia nimenyampa, wewe unakataa. That the owner of the buttocks says you have gassed and for you refuse. So I don't understand you. But on a serious note, anybody that finds himself in the hands of government agencies has not been abducted. It's methodology of arrest that it differs. Number one. Number two, again, this is diverting me, but methodology will depend on one, circumstances, two, the individual suspect. Those, if I may just hint on that a bit.
Man. I think, look, this gentleman is, I believe he's old enough to be my dad. But I am worried about myself, and I'm serious about this. Is there going to come a point in my life where I shamelessly spew nonsense deliberately, consciously, knowing that, what I'm saying are complete and utter lies? It's going to come to that point, and I worry. I'd rather die than having to be this shameless, that proximity to power or a desire to protect your wealth will make you really detach from the reality that other people live in. But not only that, will make you get rid of values and principles that should help you guide your life in the most reasonable way. Because Felix Kulayigye really knows that he's lying, but you've got to admire the confidence, the shamelessness. I can't do that. I'm telling you, I can't. Where you know you're lying, but you're super confident that your body language, your demeanor and temperament can be this convincing.
And like I said, your producer told me we are coming to discuss the role of UPDF in elections. So,
and we're getting there because this is happening in the political season.
For you are taking me into discussing the individuals.
It's honestly
that
only
are in the
fair.
hands of the Uganda Police Force.
It's honestly only fair that I ask these questions because this is a political season that
it's
we're
fair.
in. Politically charged.
It's fair, but you're asking the wrong person.
You're asking the wrong person, but let me answer one question then. If you ask me a difficult one, then I would deny. I'll say, hey, you're asking the wrong person. Ask me another one if I detect that, this is a little simple, I can manipulate and gaslight you, then I would do that. And if you ask me one thing I don't want to answer, then I'll be like, hey, you're asking the wrong person.
Well, I have no right to say that's not for me. I should be bandwagoned.
But it's important that we ask now because the arrests
agree
are targeting opposition supporters and players.
No. I think you may remember it was made very clear as to who has been arrested in Noop and why they were being arrested. That has been made clear. It's not targeting them because they are opposition. And you and I know that there are many opposition parties in this country now. And the top leaders have not been touched. Not even the top leader of Noop has been touched. Whether the police has him on the list, I don't know.
Look, I am really restraining myself to be as respectful as I can. This man.
That's why I told you, you are hazarding me in an arena which is not mine. That's not home ground.
Do you know about the whereabouts of Sam Mugume of PFF?
How?
When he laughs, I wonder, you see a man who laughs like he's free from any sort of guilt?
How would I know?
I'm asking because he's been missing for close to a week now.
But we have also had occasions where people get missing and they appear on their own. True or false in this country? Some even had blood smeared on the seats of their car. Canary.
I think as the state,
let me tell you this.
Must account for any missing person.
No. It's not about my job as a UPDF director of information. It's the job of the police. All right? But two, like I've told you, and we all know Mugume has a history of disappearing. You forget?
Imagine that, really. He denies to know any whereabouts, but then he sort of sets a stage for whatever they might do. Now, the next action is either they will drop him somewhere after torturing him, and they'll say, okay, he's got a history of disappearing himself now. He did the same. An old, same playbook.
Do you forget he disappeared and only surfaced in Congo?
So, when he was in Doro military prison, he had arrested himself.
There is a word called precedence. Have you heard about it?
Mm.
There is a precedence of a man called Mugume disappearing.
Yeah, there's a billion, a myriad of precedences where you abduct, torture, and sometimes we've had allegations of killing people. So, why do you think the precedent you're talking about only appears or should only work on the side of people like Sam Mugume?
Now you're asking me that he has disappeared.
I want Canary to push this guy.
And guess where he disappears from? Mbarara. Not even Kampala. There are people in this country who have ever gone to Mbarara. The next, they were in the jungles of Ituri. That's where he met them.
I don't like to listen to that. He went on to defend the same hogwash on the 9 p.m. news bulletin.
Mr. Mugume, I need to inform you that there is a nexus between security and democracy. If you are talking about democracy, it can only exist in a secure environment. If people are running up and down, no one will hold a rally. Number two, people must feel safe for them to express their opinions, be it debates.
Did you hear what he just said?
People must feel safe for them to express their opinions, be it debates, be it campaigns, be it mobilization. They must feel secure. And the security agency...
I mean, do the commentary for me. I'm letting him spew this puke.
Led by police must provide this very highly required commodity. Then number two, how do you ensure the rule of law if there is no security?
Like NRM and the rule of law. These are oxymorons, diametrically opposed positions. How do you ensure a rule of law? Like, when did you ensure that?
The phraseology is very good. Police maintains law and order. The military creates the order. And so, in an event that is so important as an election, the security agencies must come together to provide this much needed commodity for people to express their opinions in determining who is going to lead them. After all, a man like Thomas Hobbes...
Okay, here comes the philosopher. He's not going to tell us about Thomas Hobbes.
In the Leviathan says that nature is brutal, is nasty, and a man will live in a continual fear and danger of violence.
There's something that happened to this man. Either he's been sent into that indoctrination school, the National Leadership Institute in Chankwanzi. Why is he sort of defending violence and the breaking of the law? On the show earlier, he said, we break the law because we don't live in an ideal world. Sorry, in a perfect world. Now, listen to the defense he's using Thomas Hobbes to defend violence. He doesn't even know what he talks about. I think it was he landed on this quote, and now look, he came with his notes.
And a man will live in a continual fear and the danger of violence, or rather violent death.
I'm sure he doesn't even know what he's reading.
So, since it is poor, nasty, and brutish, he needs.
What?
Since he is poor, nasty, and brutish, he needs the state to control.
Felix Kulayigye, let me tell you something. There's a line. Please have someone who gave you that quote to interpret it to you. Context is everything. You're not going to pick quotes from somewhere. Next time you'll be quoting Genghis Khan, or probably you'll be quoting whoever. Because what are you even talking about now?
Control security.
What? Controlling security is what you call it.
He doesn't even know. Listen, like a kid like Muhoozi. Okay, listen, I won't say nothing.
With mobilization, they must feel secure.
Okay.
And the security agencies,
Let's go to the notes.
led by police, must provide this very highly required commodity.
Here we go.
Then number two, how do you ensure the rule of law if there is no security? You know, the phraseology is very good. Police maintains, and so they must come together in determining, provide this much needed commodity for people to express their opinions.
Let's go.
In determining who is going to lead them. After all, a man like Thomas Hobbes in the Leviathan says that nature is brutal, is nasty, and a man will live in a continual fear and danger of violence, or rather violent death. So, since he is poor, nasty, and brutish, he needs the state to control security.
What?
Look at his face. He sounds like, hey, this is modern day philosopher. You know, I interpret words of Thomas Hobbes. Haven't you seen me? Did you hear me? I just made a point. My name is Felix Kulayigye, the philosopher.
Controlling security is what you call it. Others, especially electoral observers, are looking at it as a clampdown.
He's not convinced on what he read. He's still going through, did I make mistakes? You can tell.
On opposition. For example, the alleged crimes that were committed or allegedly committed in February of the military drill. There's a whole clampdown now happening in September. There's questioning around, pre-2026 clampdown.
Canary, in the Bible, there is a
I think I'm going to stop here. I don't understand. Museveni, Kataha, these Felix Kulayigye usually run to in the Bible there is, like they follow anything in the Bible. Stealing, killing, lying. This is all they do every day. Oh, but in the Bible, what are the 10 commandments? How about you follow the 10 commandments from the Bible? In the Bible, in the Bible.
book called Ecclesiastics.
Ecclesiastics. Oh, what's that? What's the name of the book?
In the Bible, there is a book called Ecclesiastics.
Ecclesiastics. There's no such a book as Ecclesiastics.
Canary, in the Bible, there is a book called Ecclesiastics.
Ecclesiastics. Ecclesiastes. Jeez. Again. I don't know what he was going to read. I don't have time for that guy. Jeez. This regime is falling. There's no doubt about that. Anyways, what do you think? Go on and write in the comment section. What do you think about all this conversation? Subscribe to this feed. Now the target is 20,000 subscribers. We might do it in just a week. Can we? I believe we can. So let's do it. Come on. Let's do it. All right. My name is Mordecai Murisa. My parting shots here are: get ready for the 2026 protest vote. Protest vote. Elect your leaders. And of course, your focus should be on Bobi Wine, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. But to protect that vote, you can always choose whoever you want, but please do not embarrass yourself by electing for any person from the ANRM criminal regime. Do not. Liars and sycophants of Museveni, money-driven and power-hungry. Do not waste your time on those people. They don't have your interests here. They don't. My name is Mordecai Marisa, and I'll see you again soon.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Marissa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.